Let's talk about drinking. Cheers, he says, taking another slug of tequila. God, the show's going to be good. It's January the 1st, and just in case you've woken up and you didn't know which day it was, which means many of you will be partaking in Dry January after maybe a boozy New Year's Eve. I'm sure many of you won't, though. So we're asking the question, can Dry January be bad for you? Helping us answer this is drinking coach, I didn't know they existed, called Sandra Parker from Just the Tonic. Hello there. And also we've got TV personality Ryan Mark Parsons as well. Hello there. Good evening and a Happy New Year to you both. Firstly, can I just talk to you, Sandra? Firstly, a drinking coach sounds like, come on, Foxy, we can get you to 6 pints tonight. Come on. It's like coaching me to drink more. I know it's not that, of course. What exactly do you do and how can Dry January be bad?
Hi there. Happy New Year. So
Happy New Year to you.
What I do is I work with people who recognise that they've got a problem with alcohol. So they tend to be high-achieving men and women who are drinking more than they would like to. And what I do is help them take back control so that they can enjoy their life more, whether they prefer to go on to drink occasionally, to drink moderately, or to not drink at all. But the key thing is I help them get in control so that they can make the decision themselves.
OK. Now, Ryan, can I ask you, are you a boozer and would you like to cut down a little bit maybe on your boozing? And would you ever consider doing Dry January? And do you think it's a good idea?
Well, I love to drink. I'm a social animal. I'm a bit of a party, wild person. And for New Year's Eve, I was out very drunk. I've actually got some wine left over here from last night that I'm drinking right now. And it's very good. And I'd like to say that drinking has so many benefits. And I think people that participate in Dry January are pretty dull and boring because what fun can you get out on a weekend when you're with your friends, you're at a club, you're at a bar, and you haven't got any alcohol? I think that's the most miserable thing I could possibly imagine. So I think giving up alcohol is the worst thing you could do at any point in the year, personally.
Well, look, OK, a slightly extreme view, I'm sure there, but I'm sure you're out partying last night, as a lot of people were. But maybe if you do feel you might be drinking, not necessarily you want to cut everything out, but as maybe Sandra was saying, you just need to cut it down a bit because it's, you know, you're doing a bottle a night or whatever it may be. And you just think we know it's not great for your health. It's lots of calories and it has adverse effect on liver and everything else. Sandra, I mean, obviously, I think Ryan has a slightly extreme view on his non-stop partying there. But on a serious aspect, is Dry January a good thing to do? Or maybe do we need to look at other lifestyle changes?
Well, I think it's great to examine your relationship with alcohol. But the problem with Dry January is most people that drink more than they want to feel conflicted because on one hand, they want to get control over their drinking, but the prospect of January, which is, let's face it, for a lot of people, it feels like quite a miserable month. The prospect of getting through January without drinking makes it feels quite miserable for most people. So my guidance is that for people that are drinking more than they want to, it's better to look at why you're drinking. And a lot of people need some guidance and some support to understand the reasons why they feel they need alcohol. Simply trying to cut it out for a month, it elevates it to this magic elixir. And I know when I was drinking, I never made it through Dry January. I thought Dry January was a terrible idea. I thought it made a boring month or a miserable month even more miserable, and it made me want to drink more in February. So it's not a long-term solution, but it's great to examine where you're at. And you know, I don't think it's the best solution, but it's a good idea to look at your drinking for sure.
OK. I mean, Ryan, when you say you can't imagine going out without any booze, I mean, a lot of people obviously have the odd drink when they go out with their friends because it loosens them up. You've had a tough day. You just want to, yeah, maybe, you know, loosen some of those shackles. But also it helps maybe give them a little bit of Dutch courage sometimes in talking to people they wouldn't normally want to talk to. You know, maybe it says more about your personality that you've got to constantly drink there, Ryan, than... But you can do things, surely, in moderation. Well, it doesn't always have to be to excess.
No, I agree. I think moderation is good, to exercise some moderation when drinking. I understand there's a lot of health implications when it comes to drinking excessively, but I think you should also examine there's a lot of health benefits as well when it comes to drinking. I was reading studies today, for example, that drinking in moderation can actually reduce your risk of heart disease, reduces your risk of developing kidney stones. It makes you more social. It boosts your sex drive. There's so many benefits when it comes to drinking alcohol that isn't widely discussed. And I sometimes think there's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of doom and gloom when it comes to drinking. I know there's that fun aspect, but then if you drink too much, you're judged by everyone. I think just have a good time. As you've all said, January is a miserable month. We've got train strikes coming up. It's going to be wet. It's going to be cold. Just get a bottle of champagne. Why not? Have fun. Live a little. What do they say in French? Was it joie de vivre or whatever it's
Joie de
whatever
vivre,
it is?
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Live for today. You might get hit by a bus tomorrow. You know, have a glass of wine. That's what I say.
Let me take you up on a couple of things and a serious question, obviously, for Sandra as well to ask, maybe as a last question. Firstly, boosting your sex drive. After a few pints or too much champers, it probably goes the other way, let's be honest. But there you go. Sandra, is booze good for us in any way? I have heard, as we've all heard, maybe some red wine is good occasionally or in moderation. It can be a little bit better for the heart. True?
I think it's that classic case where we hear something that says alcohol's great for us and we post it to people, you know, like Winston Churchill lived to be 100 and he drank, you know, gallons of gin every day. I don't believe that alcohol is good for you. I don't judge anyone for drinking. You know, the clients that come to me, they want to make the change themselves. And I teach people not to judge anyone else, really to do it for yourself. So I don't personally think it's good for you, but I also don't believe in banning it, and I don't believe in judging others for drinking. It has to be a personal decision.
All right. Sandra, I really appreciate being on, and I wish you a happy new year. And obviously, Ryan, you get back to your bolly, OK, because I hate to have ruined your evening, and I wish you a very, very happy new year.